It is time to sink Atlantis, Comicstorian viewers. You have found your way to the Complete Stories series, where I take trade paperbacks and single issues, I break them down into digestible bites, and I give you an audiobook version of your favorite comic books so that you know what is going on and are able to go buy the next issues. We've been covering Aquaman for a while, and if you remember the ending to the Aquaman Kingslayer storyline, well, Aquaman kind of screwed up and Atlantis was risen out of the waters. Well, what does that mean for the entire world? Well, they see Atlantis as a warring nation here to combat against them. And it's time to send in the Suicide Squad to sink them again. Enjoy Sink Atlantis.
It's a sunny day on the eastern coast. The beach is packed with people enjoying a little downtime. In the distance, the waters begin to rise as a great city pushes upwards from the depths of the ocean. As it breaks the surface, the great tidal waves begin to crash down against the coastline. Their fun forgotten, everybody begins to scream and run in fear. Atlantis has risen! Later, the military aircraft streak by as Mera stands on her balcony, overlooking her kingdom. She is not queen yet, but the coronation is soon. Her attendants are moving in a hurry, trying to prepare everything for the ceremony, yet Mera has other things on her mind. It would be different if they were still hidden beneath the ocean waves. Now, however, they are here on the surface for the world to see. The governments of the surface world are preparing. Tension is as high as every side is waiting for someone to make the first move. To calm them, Mera has invited the delegates from the surface world to her coronation, hoping that they will see it as a sign of good faith. But the world of man is often divided, something that Arthur Curry knows well. In the ninth tride, the deepest part of Atlantis, the part of the city that still is underwater, Vulko has found the former king. He has listened to the jets flying overhead all day. It is his fault that Atlantis has risen, that Mera has been placed into this diplomatic situation. He does not want the sight of a failed king to distract the people at her coronation. Arthur knows that the surface world has always feared them. He knows that Mera wishes for peace, but he has always protected her, no matter what. In Washington, D.C., the White House is full of uptight men and women in suits, talking about their fear of Atlantis. They're a foreign nation that has just invaded and sent a highly destructive tidal wave into our territory. We're just going to do what? Wave at them and ask if they need help? Admiral Mettinghouse is ranting from the head of the table. But the president doesn't have much interest in angering a nation that is an army of sea monsters. They're keeping the diplomatic channels open and intend on sending an ambassador to the coronation ceremony. Can't you see that this is an invasion? The admiral yells. But no one is interested in listening, and the meeting comes to an end. But as Amanda Waller prepares to slip out quietly, she is stopped by that admiral. Amanda, a word. Later. Oh God, I hate flying. Not flying, Harl. This is a submarine. Phew, well, that's a relief. Amanda comes in all business. It's a quick brief. Atlantis has risen from the depths. It's the Suicide Squad's job to put it back where it belongs. The United States government does not want a war with Atlantis. So the usual drill. If you're caught, you're just insane supervillains on another dull-witted plot. I resent that, Harley Quinn huffs. But the squad isn't at full strength. They don't have Katana, Boomerang, or Enchantress, and Croc's kinda been in a mood. So Waller introduces the team to their newest members. Lord Satanus, a sorcerer carrying a magical bomb that will put Atlantis back to the bottom of the ocean. Hey Floyd, do you think this guy says his name as Satin Anus? I think so. Welcome to the Suicide Squad, pal. Waller barks for everyone to quiet down. To get them into Atlantis will be the Master Jailer, an expert at breaking and entering. Never met a lock he can't crack. The squad needs to get to the Silent School, plant the bomb, and get out. Simple. They have someone on the inside to guide them. Everyone suits up and they're out into the water. The squad slips inside the corpse of a massive whale, and using his magic, Lord Satanus reanimates the creature, and they begin to float towards Atlantis. Back on the sub, Amanda is reporting to Admiral Mettinghouse. She is confident that the squad will complete their job. You better be, or you and your Task Force X are finished, the Admiral threatens. He has some dirt on Amanda, secrets that she doesn't want to get out. The zombie whale manages to get the squad inside of Atlantis' defenses. Finally finding the sewage pipe that will grant them access to the inner city, they disembark. In the throne room, the coronation ceremony has begun, with Mera being crowned Queen of Atlantis. Below in the ninth tride, Arthur waits. His friends are trying to convince him to go up to the throne room to see his love crowned. Yet Arthur believes his place is below, where he can watch, in case someone does something stupid. In the sewers, the squad is met with Ursel. She's an Atlantean who believes that Atlantis should be below the ocean. She will lead them to the Silent School. She shows them the refugees that have hidden in the depths of Atlantis, those that do not wish to be above the surface of the ocean. Hold up, Deadshot sighs. The squad questions him. How much damage does it take to sink a city? He explains as he takes the magical bomb from Lord Satanus, who laughs at Floyd's morals. I don't kill kids! Checking the bomb, Floyd realizes what they've actually brought. It's not magic, it's a nuke. We're not here to sink Atlantis. We're going to destroy it. Back in the throne room, Mera is trying to get used to the feeling of being a queen. Perhaps a day or two of reflection, one of her attendants suggests. But Mera knows that the world will not wait. She will meet with the US delegates privately in the afternoon. Her first act as queen must be for her people. Many were injured in Atlantis' rise to the surface. Aid must be rendered, and please find out where the hell Arthur is. Arthur, though, would be found speaking with Merc, head of Atlantis security. How close are the American forces? He questions. They surround Atlantis with submarines off the coast, planes overhead, and a fleet task force massing in the Atlantic. Yet Arthur knows that this is merely a show of force. If they are to strike, it will be in secret. Black Ops, surgical. I want to know everything that you see, any hint of infiltration, Arthur informs him. We can't let Mera know. The less she knows, the better. Below the surface, the squad is still dealing with the fact that they brought a nuke into an ancient city. Ursel is angry. She wanted to effect a regime change, not destroy Atlantis. This is the mission, lady. Deal with it. Killer Croc snarls as he grabs her arm, but Ursel pulls a weapon, firing into the man-beast. Get off me, reptile! The two begin to fight as the refugees flee. Question on the stealth part of the stealth mission? Harley raises her hand. Where do we stand on the blasty shooting this with our guns? Lord Satanus doesn't care, he just wants to finish the mission, but Harley won't let him and cracks him across the helmet. A flash of magical energy picks her up and throws her across the room. Put me down, you double douche, she screams. Meanwhile, Deadshot and Master Jailer are trying to pull Killer Croc and Ursel apart. Above them, security has become aware of the shots fired within the 9th Tribe, so Merc tries to keep it quiet, making a call to Arthur. Harley struggles to her feet while the fight continues around her. Stop shouting and wrestling! It's gonna bring in trouble with the capital Aquaman! The former king of Atlantis arrives with his friends Dolphin, Jurek, and Undyne. He wastes no time launching an attack on Deadshot. Jurek swings his axe, doing battle with Croc. Knocking out Undyne, Master Jailer manages to grab Ursel and escape in the commotion. Deadshot's bullets bounce off of Aquaman's skin, and he simply asks, "Who sent you?" "I'm not here to shoot and tell." "The hard way then," he states grimly, as another punch knocks Floyd across the room. Harley tries to fight Dolphin, but is blinded by her powers and is captured by Undyne. They now have 2 prisoners, but the rest have managed to get away. Croc, Jailer, and Satanus have Ursel, and they're planning to take the bomb to the Silent School. But it gets worse. Mera knows about what happened. In security, she glares down at Merc while he tries to radio to Arthur. Later, "What the hell were you thinking?" Mera questions Arthur, while the two of them look at Harley and Deadshot in a cell. "I was trying to give you deniability," Arthur answers. But Mera is queen now, and she gets to make those kinds of decisions. Arthur has dealt with the Suicide Squad before. He knows what they are. "Let me contact King Shark. His gang rules the turf. They'll find them." But Mera is against using unsanctioned criminals for this matter. My queen," Merc cuts in, as he's analyzed the security footage and discovered the bomb that the squad was carrying. "Radiation levels are off the chart." Mera's face becomes a mask of anger. "This is an invasion!" she glares. Arthur agrees, but the US will deny it. If you retaliate against them, you will be seen as the aggressor. Mera agrees they need a Black Ops team of their own, so she orders Arthur to go see King Shark. "We need the worst of the worst." Later, everyone stands around while Harley recaps the events that have led Deadshot and her to be captured by the Atlanteans. Puzzled, she suddenly looks around the room. "Hey, Deadshot, how long have these guys been listening?" "The whole time, Harl." "Oops." Merc looks on, slightly stunned. He planned on torturing the prisoners, but now he doesn't need to. "The dry mouths are getting stupider and stupider." Merc continues to question them, with Harley continuing to give up information without any real product. "Release us, we can help," Deadshot offers. "As team leader, I have access to the brain bombs." Merc argues. "Why would I release those that came to murder us?" Behind them, Queen Mera enters the room and she orders their release. They are in just as much danger as everyone else now. They will help. Down in the depths of the 9th Tribe, Aquaman is recruiting the aid of King Shark. The large beast man sits on his throne surrounded by beautiful Atlanteans, his teeth ripping through the body of a fish while he speaks. "You want King Shark's help?" Aquaman stands before him. It worked in the past. If Atlantis sinks, the 9th Tribe will be destroyed, and King Shark and his people along with it. Shark doesn't seem to care, though, but his interest is piqued when Arthur mentions the Suicide Squad. Speaking of the squad, Satanas, Master Jailer, and Croc are continuing to the Silent School, with Croc's claws wrapping around the neck of Ursel, now their unwilling captive. Master Jailer just wants to finish the mission so that he can return to his daughter. Croc just wants to pain the end, and Satanas wants to reclaim his glory of being a powerful sorcerer. Suddenly angered, Croc throws the villain against the wall. "You're here because Enchantress isn't. You're a wannabe, a substitute. You're second-rate and you know it," he snarls, with Satanas pushing him away. "You'll pay for that slur once we're done." None of that matters though, for they have now reached the Silent School, and standing before them is a massive monster fish. Its teeth stand taller than most of the squad. The creature dives towards them with the squad jumping away. Only Croc stands unmoved. His hands shoot up, grabbing onto the teeth of the beast, one snapping off in his hands. Suddenly, Croc is gone, swallowed up in one gulp, its rider turning towards the rest of the squad prepared to finish the job. The fish's scales split as its jagged, broken teeth thrust out from within its body. The rider is impaled with his blood leaking into the fine mist of the waters around him. Croc rips his way free. No more guard dog. The rest of the squad takes a moment. Moving forward, Master Jailer begins to work on the door that blocks them from the Silent School while monologuing. He was always good with locks, he just figures out how the gears work and turns them. With an audible click, the lock on the door opens. Jailer has always been good at stealing, but he never wanted to kill anyone. "I just wanted to look after my kid," he states sadly as the doors begin to slide open. The squad swims past him with Ursel offering Satanas all of the magical weapons hidden within the Silent School, as long as he spares Atlantis. He retrieves a spear, its magical energy flowing through him. "The Needlefish Bane is 1,000 years old," Ursel explains. But the school doesn't have just a few magical items. Within the core vault, it contains the most powerful magical weapons at Atlantis' arsenal, and she offers these to Satanas. In response, Satanas turns and pierces her stomach with the Needlefish Bane. "Congratulations, your tale is now complete." He viciously kicks her away, with Jailer and Croc standing stunned. Satanas then turns on his teammates. They will deliver the bomb to the core vault, destroying the city and unleashing the magic trapped within there. Satanas will regain his full power. The group is interrupted though, when Arthur Curry arrives. Kingshot, Deadshot, and Harley now joined with his other friends, and the two teams collide in battle. King Shark moves against Killer Croc, with the two beasts fighting for supremacy. Arthur and his friends fight against Satanas, but the sorcerer's powers have grown stronger, surrounded by Atlantean magic. He quickly tosses them away. Grabbing Jailer by the arm, he moves deeper into the Silent School, searching for the core vault. Aquaman moves to pursue, but he smashes into the magical barrier that Satanas has erected. The barrier is blocking them, and Deadshot can't blow the brain bombs. "The magic is disrupting everything," he curses. "We can't just stand here and wait for Atlantis to be destroyed. Someone must be able to do something," Aquaman yells. He's stunned to see Dolphin on the other side of the barrier though, the mute woman floating towards them. "You have to find a way to break the barrier," Aquaman pleads. Dolphin closes her eyes in sadness. "How am I supposed to do that, you big gadoosh?" Harley translates for the mute woman. They know that the only one who can stop Satanas now is Dolphin. "He's too powerful. You can't do this alone," Arthur tells her, with tears in her eyes. Dolphin turns and speeds after Satanas, leaving Arthur to pound on the barrier, calling for her, calling her name, knowing this is the end. "She says she loves you," Harley translates to the stunned Arthur. In the throne room of Atlantis, Queen Mera is meeting with the delegates from the United States. She wishes for Atlantis and America to be allies, which the ambassador agrees. Mera doesn't believe them though, since a strike team has been sent to destroy Atlantis. The ambassador is stunned by this news. Mera explains to them now that the seas have been ordered to rise up and wait for her word. If Atlantis falls, so does the US. Deeper in the core vault, Master Jailer has opened the final door for Satanas. The room is a massive storehouse of magical items, but Jailer just wants to go. There's no need to set off the nuke. The Atlanteans who die in the blast will fuel Satanas' powers, restoring him to his full potential, and he sets the timer for 5 minutes. Nothing can stop us now. Dolphin comes barreling into the room from behind them, and she knocks the men aside with the bomb falling out of Satanas' grasp. The two begin to fight as the Jailer watches from a distance. Not wanting to be a part of this, he turns and he swims out the door. Back behind the barrier though, King Shark and Killer Croc are still fighting. Teeth sink into flesh as both creatures' bloods begin to mix within the waters around them. Croc's body is flung into the barrier, interrupting the rest of the group's discussion on how to destroy it. Jailer finally comes swimming back, yelling for everyone to get clear. "Let me out," he yells. But they can't. But maybe he can. "Come on, Jailer, you can open anything. Remember that big-ass door from the last issue?" Harley points out, but this is magic, it's different. So Aquaman steps forward. "Master Jailer, I know the world sees you as a villain, but at this moment we need you to be a hero. Arthur states it plainly, so the jailer uses his powers manipulating the inner workings of the magical barrier, and it seems to melt before their eyes. Thanks, Carl. Aquaman then swims fast for Satanas. Dolphin is holding her own against him, slipping past his spear thrusts and slamming his head into the wall. Her magic stuns him, and he moves in for the final blow. But Aquaman is behind him, with his fist slamming him off balance. Aquaman pushes through the magical assault, ordering Deadshot to deactivate the bomb. Yet Croc already has it, and he isn't letting it go. 1 minute left on the timer, but you're still gonna have to pry it from my dead cold hands. Croc is still sad about the death of Enchantress. He just wants to die. Aquaman and Satanas continue their battle during the melodrama, with Harley trying to talk to Croc. We all miss Enchantress, and I know that we're just a group of supervillains with bombs in our heads, but we're also friends. Come on, this is the quality level of therapy you're getting here, Croc. Croc hands over the bomb. So, I got the bomb, now what? Aquaman throws another mighty punch and he snaps the needlefish bane, with Satanas staying down. The group has the bomb, but it has less than a minute left on it. Even Aquaman can't swim it out of the city fast enough. Undyne suggests throwing it inside of one of the ancient king's chests, but there's no key to lock it, so Master Jailer steps up. I can open anything, and I can also keep anything shut, he points out. Carl grabs the bomb, opening the container, and he puts it inside. Everyone needs to stand back. The blast might kill everyone in the room. Using his powers, Carl holds the chest shut. Harley, when you get out, tell my daughter. Tell her what I did. Carl looks up as the timer reaches 0. Tell her I went out like a real. His words are cut off as the blast erupts. The rest of the group watches stunned as, even with it in the container, Master Jailer is vaporized. Hero, right? He was gonna say hero? Not hopeless chump? Later, in the throne room, Queen Mera knows that America and Atlantis still stand on the brink of war. They can't prove that the Suicide Squad was ordered by the US to sink the city. The whole point is we're deniable, disavowed, Deadshot points out. So Harley suddenly remembers the super secret mission that Amanda Waller gave to her. Pulling free a microchip, she offers it to Mera. Talking with the American delegate later, Mera offers a solution to end the conflict between the nations. She hands over evidence that Admiral Meddinghouse went rogue and ordered the Suicide Squad to attack Atlantis. With this evidence, Meddinghouse is quickly arrested for acts of war. Waller watches from the shadows as the man is taken into custody. You made sure I had that recording, Mera comments behind her. But Waller couldn't deny or confirm it, even if she wanted to. The two women talk. Both run kingdoms in their own ways, and Waller believes that they should talk together from time to time, learn each other's methods. Talking is always good, Mera agrees. Your Majesty, not talking is suicide.
We have sunk Atlantis. Sploosh! It is sunk. And that's how I get to play Subnautica. It's a great game I play on twitch.tv/eligible-monster. Why am I giving myself a Subnautica plug? Because twitch.tv/eligible-monster is where I play video games, and we do a lot of comic book podcasting. So Sunday, Mondays, and Thursdays are comic book podcasting, and various mornings I play Subnautica and Final Fantasy XIV, and we do Warframe on the weekends. So come check us out over at twitch.tv/eligible-monster. Now, as for Aquaman, which, you know, sploosh, sploosh. Anyway, as for Aquaman, we're going to be doing the final story in the current timeline. We're going to get you fully caught up in Aquaman next week or the week after, depending how our schedule works. So make sure you subscribe to the channel if you haven't yet, so that you get notifications whenever this happens by hitting that little bell. Be like, yo, I want to get Comicstorian notifications. Don't worry, I won't bomb you with stuff. I just put out like 7 videos a week, and we just do like one comment as a notification. That just we would really appreciate it if you just turn them on. And next week or the week after, we'll be covering Drowned Earth, in which Aquaman's gods are not friendly. Enjoy.